Hi everybody, Hannah here. Welcome back to my channel for another video, and today's video I am doing a tag video, and this time I have been tagged to do it. I love it when this happens because it very rarely happens. As if you watch my channel, then you know I do my tag videos just because I want to do them, not because someone's asked me to. But yes, I have been tagged to do this video by Kelly Metcalf, so I will link her channel down below in the description. And it's been so long since I've done a tag video, but yes, today's tag video is the new mum tag, which was created by Emily Norris, so I will also link her channel in the description below as well. It's been wonderful watching all of these videos because I watch channels in America that are also actually doing this tag now, and it is amazing just to see how far that this tag has spread, which is I'm loving it. If you are new, a bit of background. Hi, as I said, I'm Hannah. I am a stay-at-home mum to 5 children, 4 girls, and my youngest is a boy who is now 3 months old. So with all of that said, I'm going to just jump straight in to the questions. I do have them on my phone, so please bear with me if I'm looking down. Question 1, favourite mum hack. See, no, I don't actually have a favourite mum hack. There are a few little things that I'll do around the house just to make my life easier and things like that, but I don't really have an actual hack. I mean, I guess one of my best things that I must admit I do forget to do every now and then is that when I'm sorting the laundry out to put it into the washing machine, I will put all of the socks, whether or not they are the kids or mine or my husband's, I'll put them all in a wash mesh bag and then put that in the laundry so that I don't end up losing socks. I may not have pairs of socks, but in theory I will then lose less socks. Question 2, most embarrassing mum moment. Again, off the top of my head, nothing really jumps out at me as that, oh my lord, that was so embarrassing. But that could just be me, and it could be that I've legitimately forgotten everything that bad when it happens. I honestly can't think of anything. I mean, there's the usual poo explosions and things like that that happen when you've got kids, but I personally don't find them embarrassing and things like that. So yeah, I really can't think of anything for that one. Sorry. Question 3, what part of the day do you love the most? 5 AM. Between 5 AM and 6 AM is the time I love the most, which is my time. It is when I, most of the time, get up before the kids and I can spend that time downstairs. I will either read my Bible, I will listen to my Bible, have a face mask on, have a hot cup of tea, just some things that are for me that I can then just make sure I am chilled out and I am able to tackle the day calmly. It doesn't always last very long, if at all, but that is what I will try to do, which when it works, absolutely works brilliantly. And then on the flip of that, question 4, what part of the day do you like the least? I like least of all would be between the hours of 1 and bedtime. Will be the time that I guess, again, well, that varies on the day, but normally main chunk of afternoon is the time I don't like the least. That is when all of my kids are home, and depending on the days they've had, I either get the best day ever and my children are absolute angels, or they grow little horns and they are attacking each other, winding each other up, screaming at each other, fighting each other. The joys of having a large family. And I do love it. I do love it. But at the end of the day, it does make me ridiculously stressed. And I find it rather hard to decompress sometimes when I've had a day that everyone is killing each other. And now that the twins are 2, those days are happening a bit more frequently because they will argue with each other, as well as then now they're realising, oh, I can argue with my big sisters as well. Question 5, the worst thing someone said to you when you were pregnant. Again, I feel like I don't actually have answers for these questions, guys, because I can't think of anything that anyone's ever said anything negative to me. There have been people that have said, oh, you've got your hands full and things like this while I've been pregnant and things like that. But all these negative comments that people say that other people have said to them. No one's ever said anything like that to me. Even when I was pregnant with the twins, no one has ever said, oh, rather you than me, or, oh, I couldn't do it, or any of these mean, really just, why do you open your mouth kind of comments. No one's ever said anything like that to me, so I must be ridiculously lucky. And to anyone that's watching this that has actually had someone say anything like that to them, I am so sorry. I really am. Question 6. Baby names you didn't agree on. Now, for me and my husband, there are a few names that we didn't agree on. When I was pregnant with, well, any of the girls, either my second eldest or the twins, I love one name in particular. Absolutely adore it. And that name is Alira. I absolutely adore that name. And it's one that I couldn't convince him on. I couldn't convince him on. And that, it hurt a little bit. But at the same time, all of my children still have beautiful names anyway. So, yeah. Question 7. Do you co-sleep? With my youngest, Azriel, yes I do. When it comes to that he's woken up from his 1 a.m. for his 1 a.m. feeding and he's just not properly settling afterwards and things like this, I do co-sleep next to him and I will dream feed and things like that, as I am breastfeeding him, therefore I can. He is literally between myself and his bed because we have a next to me crib, so he is still perfectly safe. And then when I know that he's finished and he is settled enough back in sleep, I do slide him back over into his bed. But I do co-sleep with him. I didn't co-sleep with the twins. I have co-slept with my eldest, Adriana, but co-sleeping with Elena is something that every now and then me and my husband do still do. However, when that happens, I don't sleep. I don't sleep at all because I have noticed that I can co-sleep with Azriel because, bless his heart, he doesn't move in his sleep. When he is asleep, he stays pretty much perfectly still. Elena, on the other hand, she wiggles and she worms and she flips around and, oh my lord, yes. So, I have co-slept in the past with all of them. I can't co-sleep as soon as they start to move in their sleep. Question 8. Something you bought but never used. I actually don't think that over all 5 of my children there is something that has not been used with at least one of them. As I've used water wipes, I have used the little nose thing that I noticed a lot of people were saying that they bought that but they never used it. Now that was a godsend with my twins. That really was, because they had such small noses to help them actually clear out a lot of it when they had a cold and were very congested. That was amazing. I don't think there isn't anything that we haven't used or have regretted using, because it has, at least with one of my children, been used. Question 9. 3 hospital bag must-haves. A big bottle of water, some form of entertainment device, whether or not it be a tablet, your phone, an MP3 player, just something like that, plus, in brackets with that, a portable power charger. And I don't know of a third one. Snacks. Snacks would definitely be that. Oh, but then again, there's a dressing gown. But I guess a dressing gown would depend on what time of year you are going into hospital to give birth. So, but generic ones for no matter what time of year it is. Very, very big bottle of water, snacks, and some form of entertainment device with a power bank. Question 10. Are you a routine mum or a go with the flow mum, and what does bedtime look like? I am a combination of both. I have times between that I like to get things done. If they don't happen, they don't happen, but I like to try and get things done within a certain time. I like to be so that dinner is between 5 and 5:30. Baths happen between 6 and 6:45, so that within those 45 minutes everyone will have a wash. And then bedtime is 7 o'clock for my 3 middles. It is 8 o'clock for my eldest, and then Azriel's bedtime it's slowly becoming that it's more about 8 o'clock. that he will then have his last feed and will settle. But then some nights he just doesn't settle and he just wants cuddles. So his bedtime is then our bedtime as well. So yeah, it is a go with the flow structured routine. Question 11. What type of labour did you have? What pain relief did you choose? I have had all of my children naturally, and I have had all of them without anything. No pethidine, no gas and air, no epidurals, nothing. And I think the main reason that I haven't had any kind of pain relief with them is just how fast my labours can go once I get to hospital or once medical care came to me, and how much of it I did do on my own where I didn't actually have access to anything. Question 12. Have I ever been mum shamed? Not to my face. It's the only thing I can say, not to my face. If any of my friends haven't agreed with my parenting style or haven't agreed with the way I've done something, most of them literally just say right there and then, why did you do that? Because they're after an actual explanation so they can understand, which I don't class as mum shaming. I class them as just going, oi, what? So to me that's different. But in regards to actual mum shaming, no one has ever done anything to my face. Question 13. The biggest challenges you've faced since becoming a mum. Having children. Having children in its own right has been the hardest thing about being a mum. Having this small person that is then entirely dependent on you, where you then have to learn their cues, learn what they want and need and how things work for them as well as for you, and everything that can come along with it. Because things like time management and friends and things like that, I wasn't always brilliant with those things before I had my children. I've always been a terrible timekeeper, and most of the time I've been late for anything. If anything, having kids has actually made me be early for things because I'll leave with too much time. And friends can come and go. They are a fluid thing that I have found through my life even before I had kids, and there is a season for some friends, and some friends will last when you have kids and some friends don't, which is perfectly fine as well. Question 14. The best bit of advice you've ever been given and the biggest piece of advice you'd give to a new mum. Honestly, I can't think of the best piece of advice that I've ever been given, because I had my mum with me when I had my eldest, and she was able to help me with anything that I wanted and needed help with back then. But as people have offered bits of advice with my second pregnancy and then with my twin pregnancy, I've kind of just taken anything that people have said with a pinch of salt. And with my last pregnancy, with Swirles pregnancy, most people were just like, we don't need to tell you anything. You know what's going to happen. So that was that. And biggest piece of advice you'd give to a new mum. I think this one's been said a lot, but it would be, don't compare. It is that your child is their own little person and you are your own person as well. So don't compare how you are parenting your child to say how your best friend parents their child or how your mother parented you. Everyone is different, and we will all find our own ways to survive and thrive at being mothers, and one mum's journey is entirely different from another mum's journey. Last question, question 15. Who's your mum crush and who do you tag? My mum crush primarily is Natalie Bennett and Emily Norris. I do absolutely adore both of their channels, so I will link Natalie's down in the description as well. And she is kind of a mum crush in a sense. I do absolutely adore her. Her name is Jacqueline, and she is actually also someone else that I tag to do this video as well. So if you're watching this, Jacqueline, I tag you because I'd love to know your answers to this. And my other two tags are Zara from Mother Bird Blog, as I love watching her channel. I guess she'd kind of be a mum crush for me as well, because I adore her girls and I love her sense of humour. I really do. So I tag Zara as well. And my third person that I'm going to tag is Carly, as I haven't seen a video from her in a while, so I would kind of like to see how she's doing and hope that she's okay and things like that. So I will let her know that I've tagged her in this, and hopefully she will be able to do it and things are okay for her. So yes, I will leave their channels in the description box below as well. And that was the mum tag. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up for me. If you are new, please consider hitting subscribe. I would love it if you stuck around. Other than that, hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you next time. Bye everybody.